afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining me once again on the Roaming Prepper channel. I'm your host, Pete. As you can see, I am in yet another hotel room with this really bizarre, like, that reminds me of the backdrop from that damn movie, Leave the World Behind. So if I get up in the morning and all the designs change color, that means the apocalypse is starting and that I should just go home, like, just be gone. Um, I'm on a road trip again, and to be honest with you, this was the most discombobulated road trip. My flights got screwed up. My got the wrong car, the hotel room, the weather. It was just, and it was a last minute trip, so I actually forgot some of my preps because I'm trying to pull things together quick. So you have to improvise. So your starting takeaway is be ready to improvise with the skill sets you've developed over the years from being prepared, being an outdoors person, a homesteader, whatever you've done. Anyway, my topic today, are they related? Possibly. So what am I talking about? So according to the news, the Russians have hacked 1,600 different aircraft. And let me see if I can bring that article back. So apparently, the Russians jammed the GPS of more than 1,600 aircraft. And let me bring that article for you right now, just real quick, just so you can lay eyes on it. And again, take everything with a grain of salt. Bear with me just a second. Here we go. Okay, so as it says, more than 1,600 planes have been hit by GPS interference in less than 2 days, in what is thought to be an effort by Russia to create an atmosphere of threat. Many of the aircraft affected by the mysterious jamming of navigational equipment over Eastern Europe were carrying civilians. And then it goes on, there's a little advertisement there. Such interference poses a risk to pilots as it can force them to contend with fake signals that give false information. A map posted on X by an open source intelligence account that tracks interference shows incidents widely spread across Poland and southern Sweden. Now, I find this uniquely interesting, folks, because the day, as of today, today's the 26th of March, so I'm actually pre-recording this. You guys may not see it for about a week, but last night on the 25th, the midnight the 25th, 1 a.m. the 26th, U.S. time, we had a freighter leaving the port of Baltimore suddenly lose power, went completely black, makes a 90-degree turn, comes back on, the crew's fighting with the ship, loses power a second time, crashes into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which is the primary thoroughfare for fuels, lubricants, and hazmat, and takes out the entire 1.5 mile span of bridge. Thousands of ships go through that port every year. Why was the ship traversing without a tugboat? They're supposed to have harbor boats with them. Why did it lose power twice? Why did it make a right turn the way it did? It was going a completely different direction, and it just makes, if you look at it from where it starts in the video, you have to speed it up to really appreciate it. It literally makes an 85-degree turn, almost a 90-degree right turn, and smack. And even though the power then comes back on, there's no way to stop something that big from moving. So around the same 24 to 48 hour period that the Russians are messing with GPS in Europe, or allegedly the Russians are, it could be the Chinese, who the hell knows, this freighter hits and basically shuts down the port of Baltimore, which is a huge blow to the U.S. economy. That is where a lot of products come in and out, especially vehicles, a lot of parts. There's hazmat that has to go down I-95. Now, keep in mind, I-95 up and down the East Coast is also the primary thoroughfare. The main purpose of the interstate system that was built under the Eisenhower administration was for the movement of troops against Russia in the Cold War. Aside from we use it as well. That's a huge blow because now everything has to go around the city and nothing can come in and out of the port. I mean, that's a freaking nightmare. That will take months to clear out, and then you don't know what damage has been done under the water. So I'll be going on live streams. By the time you see this, I will already have been on those live streams. But this is interesting because the GPS satellites are not just a global positioning system for civilians. It was originally meant for the military. It's now kind of an open source system. They're interlinked. So is it possible that the Russians intending to do something in Europe somehow screwed us up over here? Unintentionally or intentionally, who knows? Further, you have people showing up in the country. We don't really know who's who. We don't know what the variables are, what they are up to, what they're capable of, and if they have done something that may actually hurt us. It would be a lot easier to hack a US ship from inside the ship or from inside the US than it would from all the way over in Russia. Just saying. Now, are these things related? I don't know. Is the freighter collision with the bridge an accident or a result of a hack or terror? I don't know. I would like to say that it was simply a tragic, tragic shipping and freighter incident. But the truth of the matter is, these ships, and I'm not a maritime engineer. I'm an aerospace engineer who works in energy. But I understand that anything like that, whether it's a drilling rig, a solar system, wind farms, aircraft, will have a a multiple series, or I should say, multiple setups of redundancy uh, in order to uh, prevent this kind of thing from happening. Aircraft have their primary navigation, they have shortwave radio, they have visual, you know, manual control for the pilot. There are overlapping redundancies. How did this ship have all its redundancies fail? I'm pretty sure the engineer, the actual engineer in the engine room, was probably had shut down the engines or maybe stopped the propellers. But once the ship was already in the wrong direction, just the mass of the thing, there was no way to stop it. Furthermore, if navigation went out, why did power go out too? Why did it lose power? Why did it lose? They basically lost control of this massive thing. I have not heard of that very much. The only recent incident was the one in the Suez Canal where a ship went sideways, but they say that was due to a haboob that blew over the ship. That's kind of reasonable. What happened here? Thousands of ships go through there every year. What the hell? Right at the same 48-hour period as this other situation. So, a lot of things to think about, folks. Um, what you need to do, what's your takeaway? Make sure you have paper maps. Make sure you know your route. Let other people know what route you are going to and from so that you are capable of having someone find you in the event you're lost. If you have a cell phone down, alternate communications plan, that's great. If you don't, set up checkpoints. Say, hey, I'm going from Houston or Dallas. I will be back in 48 hours. If I'm not back, this is the route I'm taking. And then you leave instructions. I want you to come find me. I will try to get to this location if something pops off. You could do it within a city. You tell your kids, if you can't get home, go to this Panera or go to this coffee shop and wait for me there. If that's unsafe, go to the fire station. Having alternate plans and physical maps and an understanding of your area and the back roads is super important if something suddenly takes out our navigation systems on a personal level. In any case, just something to think about, folks. I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for joining me for this little trip down conspiracy lane. But hell, it could just be a tragic accident. Hell, it could be a software glitch and takes all the GPS down. We don't know. Be ready for it as best as you can. Till next time, God bless, Godspeed. Hopefully, next time I won't be in a stinking hotel room. And you guys, take care out there.